All right, so now for those teams that I thought did absolutely horrible in the NFL draft. I want to caution people who like some of these teams. I am going to go in on your team. So if you know you're one of those crying fans, you might not want to watch this video. So let's start off with some of those teams that I thought did absolutely horrible. And it starts right at the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, to me, had a terrible draft. I thought they had a shitty draft. Starting out with pick number 4, they pick Ezekiel Elliott, the running back, which I thought was a terrible pick. Then they came back and they picked a hurt linebacker with the second pick, a guy who's gonna sit out an entire season in Jalen Smith. Now they picked Malik Collins, a defensive tackle. Then they picked Charles Tarper, a defensive end out of Oakland. They picked Dak Prescott, which helped them a little bit. Like before, I had their draft as a straight up F. The pick of Dak Prescott kind of moved me to like I would say a D minus. But you know, it's still a horrible draft when they had a chance to get a guy like a Jalen Smith. And you know, you bring Tony Romo. And you know what? Let me say this shit real quick, because I was talking to a dude in my comment section the other day, and I was gonna explain it, but it really wasn't worth it for me. So I guess I'll explain it here in the video. And I hope that this guy's listening and understands what I'm saying. Okay. You're missing Tony Romo and you're missing Dez Bryant. The running back that you had last year still ran for over 1,000 yards. Now, if you have a quarterback like Matt Castle, or I forget the other guy's name, which they traded for Matt Castle. Matt Castle came on that team having a limited knowledge of the playbook. It's very obvious. He didn't have a huge knowledge of the playbook. So there's only so many plays you're going to run with a quarterback that you just traded for. You don't have your number one weapon outside. You've got this great offensive line. And when teams have a new quarterback that they just traded for, they have a tendency to rely on the run. Well, if I know that, then defensive coordinators know that as well. So when you go to run the ball with no Dez Bryant, no Tony Romo, no threat of the pass, what are defenses going to do? They're going to crowd the line. They're going to try to take away the run game. So Darren McFadden having a 1,000-yard season was actually not that bad, considering the fact that he had no Romo and he had no Dez Bryant. So it's completely ridiculous. I think Darren McFadden could have had a great season this year with Romo and Dez Bryant back. I really do. He ran for 1,000 yards with fucking Matt Castle and that kid from Cleveland. I felt like he could have had a great season. And then you have Alfred Morris. They could have still gotten the kid in the second or third round. So, straight up, this draft sucks ass for the Dallas Cowboys. That's how I look at it. Now, the next team that I thought had a terrible draft, to me, was the Philadelphia Eagles. I thought the Philadelphia Eagles had a horrible draft. Why? First person they picked, they gave up a ransom, a king's ransom, to go up and get Carson Wentz, which to me is a bust. I'm telling you right now, Carson Wentz to me has bust written all over him. For a team that has a lot of holes, they gave up so much in the draft to go from, you have one first-round pick, and then your next pick is in the third round. They take a center, and then you take Wendell Smallwood. This is a team that has holes everywhere, and they gave up so much to get an unproven, untested quarterback. Just a horrible draft for Philadelphia. If I'm a Philadelphia Eagle fan, I am pissed at this draft. If you are excited about getting your quarterback and then putting all that money into Sam Bradford, I don't know what to say for you. Especially then you trade away your number one cornerback, You trade away all your. It's just some dumb fucking shit. Just some dumb fucking shit. I don't understand that at all. But yeah, that's how I feel about the Philadelphia Eagle. About the Philadelphia Eagle draft. It was fucking terrible. Fucking terrible. Now, and last but not least, the last team that I thought really struck out in the draft to me. Wow. It's a tough one because I got two teams on my radar and I don't really know which way to go. I'm going to go. Oh man, I'm gonna go with the Atlanta Falcons as my third team. Atlanta starts off with Keenan Newell, a safety. Then they get Deion Jones, a linebacker. They get Austin Hooper, who's a tight end. They get Devondre Campbell, who is an outside linebacker. They get Wes Charles, who's a guard. And they get Devin Fuller, who's a wide receiver. Atlanta had an opportunity in the first round. It's another one of those teams with opportunities that they just didn't take. I felt like they could have gotten themselves a better first-round draft pick. This is a team that has been searching so desperately to bolster the defense, but they keep swinging and missing and doing stupid shit. Like this is another one of those teams that could have really benefited from some DE help, and they didn't take it. Instead, they decided to go with a safety. I don't get it. I don't understand some of the moves that these teams make. But anyway, man, this video is long as fuck. That's my worst of the 2016 draft. Let me know how you feel. I'll talk to you next time. Peace.